So now we want to come and have a look at further support for this very tight hip in the front here. So we need to build a bit of awareness and strength through the glute med hip here. What you'll often see though, as a practitioner looking down, is that you can get people in this position, and as soon as they lift their leg, they start bringing the leg forward because they're so used to using their flexor muscles and they're not used to using their stabilizing muscles. So that glute med that connects into the top of the crest of that ilium bone and comes down and attaches onto the greater trochanter. And that guy is really important for stability when we're transferring weight. So we just want to bring a bit of sensation into this muscle. I like to do it on the foam roller so that the leg doesn't have to go too far and that it is supported, because it's quite hard to get it all the way from the ground up, and we'll often actually lose our alignment for this. And so if we're stepping and walking from side to side, having good stability in that hip becomes really important. So Fleur is going to think of flexing her foot like a standing foot. And then we want to make sure that the toes are parallel so that she can really find a direct line to the back of the hip. Because it's going to be tempting again, if you're used to externally rotating, to twist the foot up towards the ceiling to lift. So then again, you're using the front of the hip, you're not getting into the back here. So sometimes what I will do, if it's really sort of quite apparent, I will even move the leg into a slight extension so that she has to use the back, and I'll get her to tip her hip forward ever so slightly. Okay, so in this position, she has to access the muscles at the back more. So now she's going to make sure that she stacks her pelvis, she reaches out through her heel, and she lifts from, I always like to say, lift from the heel until it's in line with the hip, and then come down. So we're going to lift, sinking the thigh bone. So the thigh bone's sinking down into the hip socket. So I have a rule that says something has to go down for something to come up. So in order for the heel to come up, the thigh bone has to drop down in the hip socket, and then we're getting that beautiful movement happening in here. So we're just going to do one more, drop the thigh bone down to lift the leg, and then come down. And you'll notice she's doing a great job of stopping when she comes to hip height. As soon as she wants to go further, she has to start recruiting in her waist. Okay, nothing wrong with that, but that's not what we're aiming for here right now. So remember, if you want to get out of your quad, angle your legs slightly back. So it's not a very big angle. It's about, I don't know, 20 degrees, 30 degrees only. And we're just going to really focus on using the side muscle. So could you feel that working there? Yeah, they're fantastic. Good. And I would just do, I don't know, 8 to 10 of those maybe. I'm not very hung up with numbers. I think do what your body feels like it wants to do. I probably wouldn't do more than 10 at any one time. More than anything, it probably becomes a bit boring after a while. So let's just relax and bring that leg down. Now, if you are enjoying the series, please feel free to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down below. And if you want more help, check out my Teach Pilates with Confidence Academy on my website. You'll find a link in the description below. And there are lots of other sort of free courses and bits and pieces that you can go and explore.